Breaking right now, Iran has struck a U.S. installation in Qatar. That and what I think coming up next on Operation Intel. This is Operation Intel, where the truth hits harder than silence. Let's go. Welcome back, everybody, to Operation Intel. Iran has struck a U.S. installation in Qatar. Before I get started on that, I want to let everybody know that there are no injuries being reported as of right now from that attack. Iran's government right now is saying that they destroyed the U.S. base in Qatar. That is simply not true. So no injuries. The base has not been destroyed. You know, what most media outlets are not telling you right now is that Qatar actually knew that this was coming. The government in Iran did let them know that they were going to be sending a missile attack there. Also, the Trump administration knew that this attack was coming as well. So, what I see from my point of view as somebody who has been into combat, has seen combat, what this tells me. What this tells me is this is Iran saving face. It's actually their version of de-escalating the situation. You might not think that sending missiles into a U.S. installation is de-escalating the situation, but I want you to think about how they did it. Back in, it could have been 2019. I'm not exactly sure of when it happened. But they did the same thing to a U.S. installation in Iraq. They sent missiles over, but before they did that, they let the White House know that they were going to be sending an attack. So, you tell me if you would let your enemy know that you were attacking. Look at the way the U.S. did their attack on the nuclear facilities Saturday. It was done in the dark of night. Nobody knew it was coming or when it was coming. We on this channel, I let you know that the attack was going to come. It was just a matter of when it was coming. You don't move that amount of assets to the Middle East. You don't divert a ship from the South China Sea into the Gulf when it was set to dock in Vietnam for no reason whatsoever. It costs way too much money to do that. So the element of surprise was not there. We knew it was coming. But it is being reported in Iran right now that they destroyed that base. There are zero indications of that happening. I mean, you can check it yourself. There are cams you can view on the internet where you can actually see Qatar right now. Why would they tell us it was coming? Well, they have to save face, right? It tells a story. In Iran right now, they are being told that they destroyed everything. Behind the scenes, Qatar was told that this was coming, and the Trump administration knew this was coming. So to me, that means that they are trying to de-escalate with the United States. That does not mean that nothing else is going to happen, because There are two other things that could happen in this situation. Number one, if the United States retaliates for that attack on that base, you're going to see World War III. And I don't mean that from Iran. I do not believe that that's what's going to happen. But you will see other superpowers come to the aid of Iran. You're going to see Russia try to get involved, even though they have their hands tied with Ukraine right now. They just, I mean, I don't know why you would get involved when you're already involved and getting your ass handed to you in Ukraine right now. But will China get involved if we retaliate for that? That's the question. Even though reports have said that Russia has put out statements that they will supply Iran with nuclear warheads. The next 24 to 48 hours is going to say a lot about what's going to happen. Now, before this news broke, I was in the midst of making a video about what I can see happening. What I was saying in that video is I could not see Iran attacking a U.S. base in the Middle East. Now, I was wrong about that. But the reason why I was saying that was because I did not think that they would want to escalate tensions with the United States. So this kind of goes hand in hand with what I was actually saying, because did they attack? Yes, they did. But it was not to show power to us or Israel. It was to show power to their own people. If we have a full-blown attack, and this is just my personal opinion, again, if you've also been following my channel, you know I do not warmonger, I do not get into politics, and I do not fearmonger. But my personal opinion, if you see an attack against the United States that is meant for actual power, it's going to be through these sleeper cells that we have been talking about. What is a sleeper cell? Well, a sleeper cell is a group of terrorists that are already here, already have a plan in place. They just need a green light. That is what I think the real retaliation will be. From terrorist organizations like Hezbollah and Hamas, more than likely Hezbollah. When that will happen, we do not know. But this is not speculation. This is coming from multiple intelligence agencies. This is coming from Sarah Adams, which, if you know my channel, I am a big believer in the interview that she did with Sean Ryan. If you have not checked that out, check that out. I do believe that we may see a response here on U.S. soil. And again, that is not to scare you. But that is the most likely powerful response that they see. Because we have to remember that Iran is the biggest funder of terrorism in the world. With the Houthis and Hezbollah and Hamas, they fund these groups. That's why we do not want to see a nuclear warhead in Iran. If you know anything about terrorism and you have fought these groups like I have, so I have firsthand knowledge, not saying that I am right about everything, because I am not, then you know why we do not want to see a nuclear warhead in the hands of a terrorist. I am against nuclear war to begin with. Doesn't matter if it's coming from the Houthis, Hezbollah, the United States, China, Russia. I don't care. I don't like the idea of nuclear war, and neither should you. But I do look for one of these sleeper cells to be activated. I look at large gatherings as something that they also look for. I'm not going to give you a date because I don't have a date. But think about the next large gathering here in the United States. That's what I would think. Again, I could be wrong. So just to recap, right now, breaking news, Iran has attacked a U.S. occupied base in Qatar. And as of right now, there are no casualties being reported and no injuries being reported either. I think how we respond to this will be if that changes. We knew about the attack coming. We were warned about it by the Iranian government. And we know that the Iranian people right now are being lied to because we can actually see. You have to realize that the internet in Tehran right now is cut off, so they can't view this stuff. But it is being reported by the Iranian government to its people that they destroyed the base, which is simply not true. I'm going to be doing more videos about this today and keeping you guys updated on what is going on. I may even go live here on YouTube. Stay vigilant. If you see something out of place here in the United States, if you're, at one of these large gatherings, whether it be, Pride stuff, July 4th stuff, it does not matter. If you see something that is out of place, report it. If you're wrong, you're wrong. Who cares if you're wrong? Like I said, stay vigilant. I will keep you guys updated on what I'm hearing and what I know. This is Operation Intel. Subscribe, like, and share. This is Operation Intel, where the truth hits harder than silence.